Assalamu alaikum, my name is Aksa Tariq and I welcome you to another episode of CXO in Focus. Today we have with us in our studios Mr. Nadeem Elahi. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Nadeem Elahi currently serves as the Managing Director and Country Head for TRG, as well as the Chairman of Pasha. So, sir, from a textile business to the co-founder of TRG and Chairman Pasha, what has the journey been like for you?
Well, it's certainly been a very exciting one. I think this year we also celebrate the 10th year of TRG's inception. So it's been a very, very long time. And I think, as one goes through life and sort of, one's always looking for new challenges and new things to do. So the IT industry 10 years ago, I was doing my MBA actually in the US at that point, and when I met with the initial TRG team that set up TRG, and the IT industry certainly had a lot of appeal. You know, if you remember the last 10 to 15 years, with the Silicon Valley boom, it's been a great time to actually be in the IT industry. So obviously, like everybody else, I was quite fascinated. I do not have an IT background, so when people ask me whether I'm a software engineer or a technical person, I'm not. I'm basically a business, sort of a person. And so, the attraction was there, and the team initially was excellent, and they were able to sort of, suck me into the venture, and it's, as they say, it's been history since then. So
I wanted to talk about the different initiatives that have come under the banner of maybe Pasha as well as TRG, because you're also providing training services and training these young professionals, because you talk about how there has been a boom in small and mid-sized companies, particularly in the last 4 to 5 years. So if you could highlight your role from either end, maybe TRG or Pasha, and how that has facilitated growth in the industry overall.
I mean, the TRG story has been a wonderful one, and I must say that, if I look back in the last 10 years that I've spent in TRG, I wouldn't trade them for anything else. I mean, it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience, out of which half of that, my tenure with the company has been spent in Pakistan. And when I sort of took over our Pakistan business, it was primarily an outsourcing driven business with about 300 people. Today, mashallah, we have over 2,000 people in Pakistan, and the business has sort of morphed. Not only are we into outsourcing, but we're in technology services. We're also developing business intelligence and other automation products and softwares. And so it's been wonderful. I think, for whatever we say, and I think that is the strength of Pakistan that you were talking about, is the resilience of our entrepreneurial class. It's the resilience of the IT entrepreneurs, and they're able to, in spite of the lack of governance and all those other things, they're able to find a way forward, right? And so, it's been wonderful. I think TRG, mashallah, is a mature company now. It's the oldest and the largest IT company in Pakistan. Globally, it has about 6,000 employees, and Pakistan is a third of that, which is 2,000. So that's a big accomplishment. And we continue to grow. We continue to post double-digit growth year on year. We've involved in a variety of initiatives. I think what is passionate to us is basically development and support of our youth. I think if you look at our average, employee, he or she is about, the average age in TRG is about 25 years. So it's like a school after school. And the same problems that you have when you're managing a school, sort of you inherit with TRG. But I think the fundamental challenge is how you take all this energy and sort of channel it in the right direction, and do something for the positive growth of folks.
And of course, you're giving them that foundation of
exactly. So it's a first. So in that arena, we've developed. I've really focused in the last 2 years on a very comprehensive organizational development strategy, which has several parts. A core part of that is training and development. A core focus on the employees' basic abilities and management skills. And general and skills as well, and so that's a very, very important component. Apart from that, we are very actively involved in a lot of social initiatives. I think one program that gets highlighted, and I'd like to talk about, is Genius Hunt, which is an excellent program. And what we have done there is for our software program, for our software development team, we've gone out and looked at all the sort of low-end universities and colleges in in Karachi that you probably have never visited or heard of. We've done an IQ test in partnership with Mensa. We picked sort of a team of 10 young kids, basically ages 18 to 23, and we put them through a comprehensive training program at TRG, which is teaching them English, mathematics, statistics, and then we're sort of using them for some of our analytical programming and skills. And then our commitment is that 3 years down the line we will basically support their education anywhere in the world. So if they want to go to any university or college, so it's a little thing that we do, but I am amazed at the amount of talent that we have received through this, and the people who we brought in to train them, I mean, they were just amazed. Which goes to show that talent bahut hai. There's a lot of talent in the country. It's just a matter of using that and honing that, right? So I think we are very, very passionate about the youth of this country and about sort of development. We also are very, very proactive in promotion of women and employment of women. That is a goal that I've set for my team, and we make sure that every tier of management we have female managers, and we encourage that. I mean, if you look at it, out of the 2,000 employees, about 40% are women. I mean, if you look at that across the services industry, it's very large. Maybe telco mein shayad ya banking mein thoda behtar mera nahi khayal. So I mean, across the board, it's a big accomplishment. So I think it's been a great journey. I think we are proud of what we are. We continue to contribute and to innovate in the industry. We are also moving slowly towards a more sort of intellectual property and product-based business as we go along. And so it's been wonderful. I think on the Pasha front, I mean, Pasha is the sole representative of the IT industry in Pakistan. We have about 300 plus members, and the revenue of the overall IT industry is now almost touching $2 billion annually. So it's a fairly large, sort of decent-sized industry. And at Pasha, I think since I've taken over as chairman, I think the primary focus has been to really develop our services for our member companies. And generally, our member companies are those small, sort of 10 to 20% shops that I was referring to earlier that have been the engine for growth. So to provide them with a comprehensive set of services, which in terms of supporting them as they go through the interacting with government and all the tax and the other legislative authorities, to advising them in terms of international contracts and providing them with a wealth of information. So that's been a very, very important initiative. We have a wonderful team that we've just inducted. It's been about a year. Great people from the industry, smart young kids that sort of are developing our marketing and are developing our member services initiatives. Apart from that, Pasha is very dedicated to the promotion of the industry, and the promotion of the industry is going to happen as we facilitate entrepreneurs. And the Pasha ICT Awards, as you're well aware of that's a flagship event. Every year we look at hundreds of business plans and sort of reward companies and recognize these young kids with great ideas, and then we don't stop at that. We facilitate them to go to the next level. We take them to the Epicta Awards, which are the Asia Pacific Awards for for IT, and every year for the last several years we have been bagging sort of a majority of the awards. So that goes to show what sort of talent that is available and what Pasha has done for that. So that's from sort of the for-profit areas, but on the not-for-profit areas, we've launched in collaboration with the Industry Social Innovation Fund, and that's focused on sort of encouraging the non-profit enterprise sector. And there is a sort of board that Pasha has put together, and that facilitates these funds and investment in these funds. Pasha overall is very, very active. I think we have a very good team led by a wonderful Jahara. I think she's phenomenal, and I think she's done wonders, for the industry and for Pasha as well. So very, very good stuff happening, and we're very excited about it.
Actually, one question I wanted to ask with regard to TRG, that other than developing customized solutions for clients, you are also, specializing in training and, these different programs that you have launched. And for example, you're going to different universities. Could you elaborate on the different initiatives? For example, the MBA recruitment drive, and you also talk about Genius Hunt.
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
Are there any other programs that are currently functioning that are just focusing on the youth, that are, maybe giving them a chance to bring out their ideas or their expertise in the forefront? Because there are a lot of people here who do not really get the chance to step up and present their skills.
Right.
So
in terms of sort of non-technical side, we did start a fairly competitive management trainee program that is now about 3 years in inception, and I think the idea was to sort of foster sort of the management skills and to bring in people from the business end into TRG and then use them, train them, and that initiative has been very successful. And I think not only with the MBAs, we have been even more successful doing it with the undergraduates.
okay.
The program size has grown. I think we started with about 7-8, and I think now we have more than 50 people in that program. And the idea is to sort of expose them to the IT industry, particularly to the various facets of the TRG business over a period of 2 years, and then actually give them line management roles across the TRG enterprise in the various countries that we operate in. And several people have gone on and working in our businesses in the US and the Philippines and other parts of the world. So I think we're very active in that. Genius Hunt I already spoke about, which is more of a sort of giving back initiative. We have a wonderful organizational development initiative. The training and development program that we have at TRG is, I would say, the best in the industry. In fact, not only within the IT industry, but if you compare it with the general sort of corporate world as well, it's phenomenal.
Okay.
And so there is a lot that has been done on that front.
All right. So considering that TRG provides BPO solutions to like a lot of a variety of verticals, which industry do you think is most lucrative, apart from of course the IT industry? But do you think that there are any other industries that that could have been highlighted in a better way?
As far as our customers are concerned, I think as far as what are the areas for growth for the IT industry, for the services business, I think it's going to be a tricky sort of growth coming forward, because a lot of the growth in the last few years has been propelled by the financial services industry. As the banking industry automated itself, there was a lot of work there, and so the IT industry really did well on the services end. I think the future of services, at least in the next decade, is I think around e-government. There are several initiatives on the government end. There's a lot to be done, from automation of tax services to facilitation of citizenship services. And I think in Punjab, a lot of those initiatives are already underway under the PITB banner. So there is a lot of opportunity on that front, on the services side. On the product side, I think mobile applications and sort of other firmware and sort of software, business intelligence products, ERP, sort of middleware, and there's a lot of niche areas for focus, right? And I think that sector will continue to grow. So I think both sectors have room. I think you'll see more growth in percentage terms in the smaller, in the product sector than in the services sector.
All right. So any other TRG or Pasha projects that you have in the pipeline that you would like to tell our audiences about?
On the Pasha platform, certainly we want to continue to encourage and foster entrepreneurship. I think the next phase of sort of our focus is to really engage with the government and sort of to make them see the potential of the IT industry and get them more focused on that. On that initiative, Pasha on its own has developed a very comprehensive ICT policy document that was discussed and debated very actively within our membership community, and now we are sort of taking that document and talking to the other various stakeholders on it. The cyber crimes bill, which is currently also under debate, we are very, very interested in that, and we are going to make sure that our voice is heard on that front. So I think you will see a lot more of engagement with the government in the near future, and then obviously engaging with our members and taking care of our members remains the first priority.
All right. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Mr. Nadeem Elahi from TRG Tech and Pasha. discussing the different initiatives that have been launched under the banner of Pasha as well as TRG. The various topics that we touched upon today show that the strength that lies within our ICT community or within the youth of Pakistan can surely be a plus point when it comes to the growth of overall economies. We will see you in the next episode of CXO in Focus. This is your host Aksa Tariq signing out.